Good evening. Welcome to Your Time to Shine with your hosts, Darlene and Julie.
Your Time to Shine is a radio show inviting you to embrace your own divine gifts.
So tonight, since it is so close to the holidays, what would it be like to have joy and ease this time of year? And joy and ease when it comes to visiting family. Does that sound good, Julie?
That sounds great.
And what would it be like if you could manage your stress and do a little self-care at the same time? So tonight, Julie and I are going to talk about some tips that we use that we find helpful, and hopefully you will too. And I also have Archangel deck that we will pull, and we can find out which angel has a message for us tonight in matters of family and holiday and stress. So there are a couple of things. Make sure as you're going through the hustle and bustle of stress and holidays, and we really, to stay healthy, do really take that time to do something for yourself. Even if it doesn't seem possible, find at least 5 minutes a day where you can, breathe. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be something spiritual. Julie and I were talking about that too. But we'll also bring in the spiritual tools. So when you're with family and getting ready to be with family, really take care of yourself, and if you need to excuse yourself for a reason, do so. And, go take a break, do some mindful practice, whether it's some deep breathing, anything, something that makes you laugh, think about being on the beach, just taking care of you. And also, there was something that I just thought of as I'm tuning in to Spirit. If you have a crystal or something that you can put in your pocket that you can touch it, and something about it will comfort you. Sometimes they're called worry stones. You can get a stone that actually has a divot for your thumb, and you can put that and keep that in your pocket, and that can help lower, the adrenaline that may be rushing through you this time of year, whether it's stress to get things done or being with family at a party. It's holiday time. So I'm going to pass this on to Julie and she can talk about a couple of tips that she has for this time of year.
Yeah, I think you hit it right, Darlene. It's so easy to get frantic this time of year with everything. And it is really important to take time out for yourself. And I will be the first one to say I am the worst at doing this. I am such a giver that it's really hard for me to take time out for myself. And I have to remember to do that at least 5 minutes a day, where I can go turn the world off and just sit quietly. Not do anything, but just sit quietly and let my mind relax. I think that's the biggest number one thing. If you have a tendency to have a really stressful family, I'm so blessed that I don't have that with my family. I know there's so many families out there that there's a lot of tension, especially this time of year. And it's really important, like Darlene said, excuse yourself and go outside, go take a walk, go to another room, shut the door, go into the bathroom if you have to. Just find a space where you can get out of the noise and the confusion and center yourself again, where you can come back into the conversation and feel more grounded. And that's a really big thing. So, and like Darlene said, if you have stones or crystals, ones that will help ground you, ones that will help calm you, those are all really great tools to have. And there's also the other side of that coin, which I'm actually going through this year for the first time, is if you have lost a family member, and how do you deal with that? And especially if you have a lot of traditions, and a lot of traditions revolved around that family member. How do you find yourself again? How does your family find themselves again and cope with all of that? That in itself can just be a really stressful thing. So again, remember to laugh as much as possible, and remember to take time outs, and be with yourself. Cry a little bit if you have to, or scream a little bit if you have to. Everything to get those emotions out so that they're not bottled up in your body, because anytime you leave emotions bottled up in your body, they lead to health issues down the road. So you definitely want to get all of that out. So
a couple things, a couple more tips, and then we can pick an angel card. So preparing to go with family. Most of the time when we go visit family, we often revert back to that old role that we played within the family. So if it's, the youngest child or the oldest child, oftentimes parents will keep us at that age. So we'll stay there. So we go with family, and we tend to go back to those behaviors, and we fill the space with what's expected of us as a 7-year-old child, perhaps. So remember going into that space that, our parents will see us a certain way, and to have few expectations outside of what they're really possible of. That helps me, knowing that, my mom only has certain ways that she knows how to be. So I go in, and when when I'm feeling as if she may be judging me for not doing something that she'd like me to, I think in my head, now it shifts my energy when I'm there, when I'm visiting my mom. Interesting points of view, she has that point of view. So I take information from so many different modalities that I've studied, and that particular phrase comes from Access Consciousness. Interesting point of view, she has that point of view. So if you feel as if someone in your family is judging you, you can say that to yourself in your head, rather than perhaps getting angry or wanting to lash out at what they're thinking or saying. Interesting point of view, they have that point of view. And it really helps to shift physically and emotionally your energy in that space. And you can say it over and over and over. I do it before I even go to my family, in preparation for that. So that's always helpful. And also call in the angels, call in your spirit team, whatever it takes to get through the stress of the holidays, even if it's financial, or, if your family is challenging to be with. And maybe this would be a fun time to do the angel deck to see what the angels have in store for us tonight in reference to this topic.
Yeah.
So the topic is, family, stress, holidays, what it is that they can help us with. So we have, and I'm using Doreen Virtue's Oracle deck of her archangels. And the one that came up tonight is clairaudience. Archangel Zachiel, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people.
That's a great one.
So loving guidance, and listen to the mind. Notice loving guidance. So this is where perhaps if you're feeling stressed, you can take that time out that Julie and I were talking about. You can even close your eyes, find a quiet space, and ask for guidance. Okay, what can I do here? What is it that could, bring me a little more ease and some joy and less stress? And listen to the sweet, gentle guidance that will show up.
Yeah, don't forget to ask for guidance from Spirit and from your team, because literally they are waiting patiently for us to ask and for them to be able to help. That is what their purpose is to help us and guide us through our journey. So really, if you're in a tough situation, don't forget to ask. That's the biggest thing. That's the first step, is to ask and call in and help with guidance.
Yeah, and I just thought of something when studying the angels, when it may be a judging guidance, like you should do this or you shouldn't do that, or something that feels as if it's being forceful. That perhaps might not be the angels. That might be your own voice in your own head, or somebody else, that you were brought up with, maybe a parent. So when it's loving and gentle guidance, that's when you know it's from an angel. So, keep asking until you feel that gentle peace and calm come over you, and then you know where the information is coming from.
Right, and another good way is to, if it comes up again, then you know that it's from your guides. It's not coming from you. If it's repetitive, that is, one big sign that, oh, okay, this isn't just me thinking this. This is really guidance from my team.
Right. And they're there, so act.
Absolutely.
So we have a caller from Amsterdam, New York. Arvilla, are you on the air?
Yes, I am.
Hi, welcome
Hi.
tonight. How are you?
Not too bad.
Is there a question you have that Julie and I can support you with tonight?
Am I ever going to find out what happened to my brother?
Has it been a while since you've had information?
It's been 3 years.
Okay. And was it something, did you lose touch with him?
Well, I don't know if he was murdered or suicide.
Oh, so he has passed on then?
Yes.
Okay. Julie?
Yes, the answer is yes. You will be getting some information. He's telling you not to worry.
He's telling me not to worry,
Yes.
but I won't be happy unless I know. Because I don't believe he did the suicide.
One of the first things you can do, so I think when Julie was talking about worrying, it's that energy that perhaps is keeping him from being able to talk to you. So if at some point you can sit down and get grounded and, go to a quiet space and sort of release that energy of worry, it will clear the way for communication to open. So I would say that's a first step, because that worry energy blocks us from hearing that.
Absolutely.
So what else were you picking up, Jules?
I'm getting that, Arvilla, you are on the right track, that it doesn't look like it was suicide.
Yeah.
But I'm having trouble tapping in. I'm not sure if there's more to it.
Yep.
Yeah, he says he's been trying to reach out to you, but it's been hard. And sometimes when our loved ones have passed, they're still trying to figure out how to communicate with us, because they don't communicate in the same way that we do in our human life. Sometimes it's pictures, sometimes it's a sound, sometimes it's something that you see. And so all of these things come together. So in their afterlife, they're trying to figure out what the best way is to communicate to us. And he's struggling with that right now.
Okay.
I would be more than happy to dive a little bit deeper into this with you. I think it's something that I need to sit with for just a little bit. So you can go to our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, and get in contact with me, and I'll be able to give you a little bit more information on that if you're interested.
Okay. Now, how do I do it on Facebook?
So you just go up to the search line at in your Facebook, and you type in Your Time to Shine.
Your Time to Shine, that's all I have to type in?
And it will show up as a podcast.
Okay, because I'm not good at the computer, so Your Time to Shine.
Yes.
And then I click onto that?
Yes.
Yes.
And I will get you.
Yes.
And when should I do that? When's a good time?
Anytime you would like to.
We check our page frequently.
Yes.
Okay. Your Time to Shine. I'm sorry I didn't hear you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, because I still think it was not suicide.
Yes.
I hope you can help me. That's all I can say.
I think I will be able to, yes.
Okay. I will be trying tomorrow then.
Okay, sounds good. Have a great evening.
You too. Thank you very much, all of you.
You're welcome.
Roxanne in San Antonio, Texas. You are on the line. Hi.
Can you hear me good?
Yes. How can Julie and I support you this evening?
There's just a lot going on right now with my husband's side of the family, and me trying to accomplish some goals and being confused whether I should stay or go back home with my family and stay there.
When you say stay, do you mean permanently or for the holidays? Just a little
Permanently. Permanently, like get divorced and go home.
When you ask that question, stay or go back home, which one feels lighter to you? Like in your body, which one feels more expansive?
Expensive?
Expansive, like your body goes out and your heart fills up.
Go back home.
Yeah. And sometimes those are the toughest decisions to make when it involves other people. But that's listening to your intuition. That's tuning into your body, which, our bodies know what it is that's required, what energy, would be the most helpful to us. Julie, anything that?
Just the little bit that I'm getting is to go back home. You're definitely more grounded there. Definitely more in awareness and more you.
Yeah, I just got back, and as soon as I stepped foot off the airplane, I felt like just sad, depressed, confused, and I'm you know, just really unhappy here. But I hate to leave my husband to go back, but he deserves to be happy too.
And have you and your husband discussed that at all? Like this choice that you've been considering? Yeah, and what is his response to that?
We just moved here because his father was sick and his mother passed away. And when I tell him I want to go back but I'm not happy, he says he can't go back because of his job. He can't transfer back to California. So that he says we're stuck here. Like, I don't know if there is a way, or he just doesn't want to go back because he's finally because all his family lives here in Texas and all mine lives in California. And we've been in California all this time, and we just barely moved here like a year and a half ago. And it's just his family doesn't get along. They fight a lot, and it's just really negative, and it's taking a toll on me.
Right.
And, you know, I want to be with family that's welcoming, and I don't have to worry about someone saying, you know, talking to someone and then someone going and saying, oh, she said this and that, and it's too much for me. I'm not used to it, I guess.
Right.
But he doesn't want to go back.
So I'm picking up. Have you guys thought about? Have you thought about not necessarily having to separate and divorce, but just living separately for a short time? You living back in California and he taking care of what he needs to in Texas. I know that can put a strain on the relationship as well, but I'm kind of picking up that might be a better solution than just calling it quits.
No, we haven't talked about anything like that. I think it's just like I feel like now I feel a lot of I believe animosity. Like when I look at him, I get really upset with him. I don't want to conversate with him. I don't. I noticed the other day when we went to dinner, like he was trying to hold my hand and walk, and I just kept figuring a way to get like away from him. Like I would fix my hair or unbutton my jacket or something like that, just so that I didn't have to, you know, I guess talk to him or show any affection toward him. Like I think I've lost it. Like I've lost interest. I don't feel like he's protecting me the way he should be, or standing up for me the way he should be, the way, you know, I guess things are supposed to be.
And that's very telling in a relationship, because when we marry someone, it is often we marry the family as well, because they brought him up. So even if they're not there physically, they're there with him energetically. And the more you go into a relationship, the more you find out whether or not people are compatible with each other. What if you tried not to have expectations of him for a little bit? To not have expectations of him for a little bit, like a week or two, maybe in the energy of gratitude, and then really really be sure when you're not even feeling the connection anymore in that energy of gratitude, that may be a very telltale sign that you're ready to go back home.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm picking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, when I was in California, like I didn't, because we went last month for my daughter's wedding, and I was there 2 weeks before he was, and like I didn't miss him. I didn't look for him, and when he called, I felt like, oh great, now I have to talk to him. And I would always try and cut it short and tell him, oh well, I was in the middle of doing this or that. Like I really, you know, and he's gone a lot too with his work.
What I always say to clients is we always know what we know. So in our hearts and in your heart, it sounds like you already know and you've already made your choice. And that happens. You know, we think we know somebody sometimes, but the longer we're in a relationship, we change. Everybody changes, or one of us changes and the other person doesn't change. And that happens, and we can't force two energies to get along anymore. And we have to, tune in and ask ourselves what would be the best. You know, where do you see your life in 1 year or 5 years? Do you see it with him?
I don't, not anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he feels. I don't know if he's just like me, like just, going along with it, or if he feels the same way. Like, if you go, I'm okay with it. I'll be fine here.
Right. Well, Roxanne, we are getting close to the close of the show, and if you'd like to continue the conversation, you can go to our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, and Julie and I would be happy to finish the conversation with you there.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you for calling in tonight, and I wish everybody happy holidays and a beautiful evening. And remember to choose for you and what your heart believes in.
Absolutely. Everybody have a wonderful holiday season.